Welcome folks, I'm SilmarUK and this is going to be my playthrough of the new game that's just come out today, Greedfall, which is a RPG set in a sort of 1600, 1700 sort of equivalent of Earth. Looks very interesting. I've only seen the trailer so far, but we will be playing through it and I will be putting the videos up on YouTube. A little bit about me. I am a content creator at the moment, mainly focused on gaming, predominantly live streams, some YouTube content, of which this will be a new series, and also I have a website with some blogs and resources, and I will be putting some more gaming related blog articles as well as other articles up in the near future. If you like this video, please do give it a like on YouTube. Consider subscribing to the channel, leave me comments if you've got questions or suggestions, and you can also stay in touch with me at my website, which is www.silmaruk.net, and also in particular on Twitter, which is SilmarUK on Twitter. So without further ado, we will start the game. Now I have started the game a little bit before. Started with a particular character, but I was struggling a little bit with it, so I'm going to go for a slightly different build this time. I was also running into some graphical issues, and as a result I've had to drop the game from ultra to high quality and drop it from 1440p to 1080p. And those graphical issues, by the way, weren't in the running of the game itself, they were in the ability to record in OBS. So the game itself seems to be playing very well on my PC, which is 4 years old, but I've just had to drop the settings a little bit to allow me to record for YouTube. So, okay, so we're going to start a new game. We're going to set that to normal. And this will just take a moment.
Could you stand a little taller, just a tad?
Like this?
Yes, yes. The chin a tiny bit lower. Gaze a little more to the right. There! Now, hold the pose.
Okay, so this is the character creation scheme. We have a range of presets as a man. And also play as a woman, and there is a range of presets there as well. And obviously we can customize a bit more. So I will actually be playing as a man, and I think I like that one. In terms of the hair, I think I'm going to be playing as a warrior this time, so that's, yes, that works, that works. Hair colour, as you can see, quite a range, but we'll go with that. So, next step. So I did start technical before, which uses firearms and that, but it's my first playthrough of the game and I was struggling a little bit to make effective use of the firearms. So really I'm going to go with one of the other two, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with warrior. That quite possibly will be an easier start, or at least a simpler start. So we'll take warrior. Starting skills: one-handed heavy weapons, one-handed blaze firearms, recommended attribute strength and endurance, recommended talents craftsmanship and vigor. Okay, so strength and endurance. I'm thinking now we could do these as well, and we can open any of these up later. But we'll go with strength. And we've got science, charisma, vigor, lockpicking, intuition, craftsmanship. Okay, well, I'm kind of liking the idea of recovering hit points and magic outside of combat. Craftsmanship is something maybe we'll deliver later. Charisma or dialogue options. Science, lockpicking, intuition. Let's go with vigor.
Just a few more minutes. You have such an incredibly singular face. That's a compliment, my lord, out of my mouth.
Okay.
Your particularity gives you character.
You're still here?
We've nearly finished. Have you any more need of me, Master?
You haven't forgotten that we're setting sail today, have you?
Of course not.
Your cousin is nowhere to be found. I've searched the palace from cellars to attics. Your uncle is beside himself.
He was of a mind to paint the town last night. Don't worry, I shall track him down. Make care to your own preparations without wrinkling another frown. We'll meet you on the boat.
It's about time your cousin took account of the responsibilities awaiting him. He should go and inform the ambassadors of Telemi and the Bridge Alliance of his departure.
Have no fear, Master. I will go and see them in his name. I beg your pardon, but urgent matters call me away. Might we finish all this later?
Impossible, my lord. You are leaving with the tide, if what I've been told is correct.
I am sorry, sir. Truly, I must be going.
My lord, please, I beg you. Her Highness has personally requested I finish it.
Thank you, cousin, for getting me out of that.
Okay. So, I have to go and say goodbye to my mother. I for inventory. Just scrolling through what we've got. Okay, so we've actually got a few additional items. Because of how I bought this on Steam. Ooh, that's one-handed heavy weapons, that's one-handed blades, that's one-handed blades. Okay. I liking that. Right. I'm definitely liking that rifle. Very swish. Not sure that's the thing for traveling, but you know, very swish. Okay. So, Mr. de Saudet. Brought up at the court of the Prince d'Orsay and with his son Constantine, you have benefited from the best tutors and masters of arms. As skilled in combat as in games of the mind, you have also shown early aptitudes for light magic. Your cousin has been more calm and thoughtful than ever, and you have always tried to protect him from the annoyances he has the power to attract, which has earned you the respect of your uncle and probably the appointment as legate, in other words, the senior diplomat on the island of Tir Fradi. The heavy heart that you will have to leave behind your mother, suffering from the malachor and close to death. But the opportunity that is offered to you away from the deadly atmosphere of Serene, to accompany your cousin and to discover new shores, is not one that can be refused. Mr. de Courcelon? You've known him for years. This very cultivated man has taught you and your cousin Constantine history, the workings of politics, and the subtleties of diplomacy. Do not know if your uncle has sent him to you in the hope that he will keep an eye on you, or if he wanted to come himself, driven by his affection he has for you and his ever-lingering curiosity. After all, you've been hearing for years about this fascinating island and the mysteries it contains, which he hopes to shed some light on. So, Serene. Serene is the biggest city of the merchant congregation and one of the most important ports on the continent. It's a very old city that sea traders long made rich, but it's also the ultimate diplomatic city thanks to the neutrality of the congregation. You can find everything you can imagine here. People from all over the world come together and its markets are full of the most exotic goods. For over a century, Serene's splendour radiated, attracting the best artists and philosophers of the time, despite the appearance of the Malachor. But since a little over 20 years ago, the deterioration of the congregation's relations with the Nauts and an aggravated epidemic have drastically reduced its prestige and population. Today, Serene is a city that barely survives by clinging desperately to its past splendour. Right. So. Can't go in there, I'd imagine. No. Now I happen to know that this is a bit where we will have a combat tutorial. It's going to be very useful, so before I do anything, oh, world map. Okay. Journal, maps. All very nice. Okay. There we go, that's what I want, the guide. Combat basics. Lock on target. Simple powerful hit. Change weapon is V. Left shift is dodge. Parry is right click. And use fury. Here we go. Combat tutorial.
Green blood!
Kurt.
And so the day has finally come. My royal fledglings are leaving the nest.
Accompanied by their most loyal and tenacious master of arms.
As loyal as your goal.
Oh, enough with the cold mercenary. I know you like us. Still hiding your men in the unsuspecting shadows of the greats of this world, I see.
Hey, our blades are the only thing keeping you dainties alive.
Kurt, I'm not in need of your protection. I'm no longer a child, you know.
Is that so? Well, let's see. Fight with honor!
Right, so I have to attack 3 times. So if there's the heavy weapon. Whoa, okay. And now we have the rapier. Okay, defend yourself against 3 attacks. Prove to Kurt that you can fight. So we have tactical pause, tab or space. So potions, continue. So what I'm just doing here, I'm clicking the middle mouse button on these items. Cool, so that's health potion is bound to 1. Now firearms. I don't want that too close to my potions, so I'm going to bind that to 5. We've got a kick attack and we can dodge. Right. Whoa! I've lost health. Okay, so we'll just follow through what it's asked me to do. Yeah, that's down to 1. Whoa! Okay.
What a green rod.
I got trapped
Me
in
who
the
thought
corner.
myself a competent weapons master.
It's becoming a little hard to believe.
Don't add insult to injury. This is humiliating enough. We'll need to get you through the basics, or you risk getting your feathers plucked at the first sign of trouble.
That could definitely come in handy.
In that case, Otto here is going to be your training partner. Go! Fight with honor!
Okay. Yep. There we go. I've got to assign it to a shortcut. It's not going to let me. Okay. That's just causing it. So, middle mouse button. Then I'll put it on 5. Shoot at your opponent twice. Right, armor. Physical armor level is shown with shields on the health bar. Armor absorbs part of the physical damage. To break an enemy's armor, you use an impact weapon or certain traps. Magic attacks ignore armor. Whoa. Okay. You've got no armor? You've got no armor. Fury. Fury is a state that allows you to use special attacks that inflict bonus damage and make enemies lose their balance. Segmented meter that fills up as you attack an enemy. Cast a spell or parry attacks from enemies will allow you to see your Fury level. When the meter reaches the first level, a visual effect will appear on the character's hands. Press Q to use a Fury attack. Okay, so don't necessarily have to worry about the armor so much. I can sheath my weapon pressing X.
It appears we've brushed up on the basics.
It does, and I'd like to be on my way. I've quite the list of things to do before we depart.
Indeed. Remember that you can always train in our barracks on the island if you're feeling rusty.
Are your bags packed for the great departure?
Yes, you know I get by with very little. You're not angry that I'm coming with you, I hope.
No, I think I'm happy, given that I'm not very good
On the
at combat
contrary,
yet.
I'm thrilled that both you and Sir de Corsillon are joining our party. A few friends at your side in unknown territory is a boon.
Ah, so the old goat is coming too. And there I was thinking I would die of boredom on the trip. By the way, where is our future governor hiding? I was hoping to put his skills to the test as well.
I have no idea. He had plans to celebrate his departure last night, and we haven't seen him since. You know Constantine. I should have gone with him, but my heart wasn't in the mood for celebration. The thought of bidding my mother farewell.
It is never easy to say goodbye. But you should be going to see her now. She must be waiting for you. I'll meet you in front of the palace. Then we'll go and find Constantine together.
Very well. I'll meet you as soon as I've said my goodbyes.
Okay. We have got to go that way. A physician? But not a talkative.
What is this? Have you not been taught to knock? I've asked 1,000 times. Oh, it's you, my dear child.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm having trouble getting used to your condition.
Come now, let's speak of more pleasant things. I'm so very happy to hear your voice. You remind me so much of your father. I do miss him so. Today is the big day, isn't it? Ready to set sail for that island everyone's talking about.
Yes, but the idea of leaving you behind, alone and ill...
Dying, my child. Alas, there is nothing you can do by staying that would ease my suffering. One thing brings me cheer. They say the island is full of miracles, and we might find a cure.
Even if I were to find it, I would never be able to return in time to...
I know. But it brings me comfort to know my son has left on a mission to heal his people. Come now. It is time for you to take leave. Here, take this with you.
What is it?
A family heirloom. Something that... Take it and keep it with you. May it bring you good luck. All my blessings go with you, my child. Now, be off.
Oh dear. That's sad. We have a hat. We run fast using sprint or go more slowly by walking. I shift to sprint and Z to walk. Okay. So we have a new item. And we'll definitely go with that. Right. So we have a map of the city, and although we have a particular mission to fulfill, I think it's going to be worth our while to try and investigate as many of these places as possible. Ah, we got something here as well. Our mother's present. And we also have Princess de Sardet. Princess de Sardet is sister of the Prince d'Orsay and your mother. Okay, she has always shown you a lot of tenderness, which is not common among the congregation nobility. She unfortunately came down with the Malachor some time ago and has been living in isolation since then. Her suffering and appearance prevented her from maintaining her role at court. Although she may be very sorry to see you leave Serene and be far from her, she prefers her only child to visit more welcoming shores and seek a cure for her people, rather than stay by her side waiting for her death. Very sad. Kurt, you've known Kurt for many years, when he became yours and Constantine's weapons master. His childhood was tough and he had a weapon in his hand as soon as he was old enough to hold one. Although he has obviously suffered from it, he does not seem bitter, just a little cynical, and he shows you and your cousin an almost brotherly protective affection. That's good to know. Right, let's go talk to Kurt. Hello, welcome to the city of Serene.
Kurt? It's done.
Sorry, Greenblood. Look, we can see the masts of the ship that'll be taking us. This is one sacred adventure we're embarking on.
I hope this island will keep its promises.
In order to know that, we'll need to find Constantine first.
You're right. Maybe he's already at the port. He was so eager to leave.
This will be quite the chore to finish before our departure. The commander wants to recover some merchandise from our supplier, but the transporter doesn't want to deliver. I did all I could to persuade. Nothing came of it. All the parliamenting fatigues me. But this is your domain. I wouldn't say no to a little help.
Of course. Where is the supplier?
In the lower boroughs, near the port.
Right then.
Okay.
We'll put it on our list of visits.
So, companions on the team. Yep. Firm team and quit. Yes. So we have a quest. So we have to negotiate with the vendor. We've got to visit these two ambassadors, but there's a number of other things to be found. And I think we will just explore
Where
them
would you
out.
like to begin?
I've been asked to pay visits to the ambassadors of Thélème and the Bridge Alliance before our departure. Their dwellings are not far from here. We could go there first.
Very well. Do you think Constantine will be waiting for us next to the ship?
I don't know, but it's certainly worthy of inspection.
Okay, so we're going to go and look all over basically. Ooh. Some stuff. Gold coins, alchemical status mix. Sets an alchemical status mix that explodes on contact with an enemy, applying status on enemies in the explosion radius. I'll take that lot. Oh,
And death to the others!
Come here, my beauties.
just basically tracking them down and... Oh, no, Kurt's done them. No, Kurt hasn't done them yet. Kurt's done him in now. Okay. So we'll take everything. Magic potion. Interesting. Ooh. Stuff to loot. Old reinforced gloves, pine resin, sustation powder clues. Cool. Right. Let's make sure we can't go through there, but yeah, I thought so. Map's quite clear. Right. So, let me just save the game now. That'll go over our previous save. Okay, so that... Let me just go back to the title screen. Right, so that's the first part of our playthrough. I will be trying to get these out twice a week. They'll be about 30 to 40 minutes long. In this first part, all we've done is just do some of the basic start of the introduction, and I wanted to have a proper explore of the city of Serene before we go jumping on this boat and going off to parts further away. If you enjoy the videos, please consider, liking the video, comment if you wish, consider subscribing to the channel. I do live stream games 3 times a week. You can find the details of that on my website, which is www.SilmarUK.net, and you can follow me on Twitter at SilmarUK on Twitter. You can also find me on Twitch at SilmarUK, Mixer at SilmarUK, and on Facebook at SilmarUK. So thank you very much for watching, and for now I'm going to bring this to a close, and the next video in the series should be out later on this week, where we will continue exploring the City of Serene.